Nice. Got it. Awesome.
So is this the Dream or Korean Christmas YouTube channel?
This is the dream.
Okay.
Oh, I'm gonna have to delete that other post.
Yeah.
Yeah, the streaming with Jacob.
How do I find?
Yeah, the one downside to this is it gets like super duper laggy, so I'm gonna have to close some windows. But yeah, welcome to day 26 of the Dream Journal. Sorry about that, guys. We had some technical difficulties, so we have to restart. Today we're going to be streaming with Jagup Chapa, Jagup Chapa, and we're going to be discussing both Think and Grow Rich and then some wealth building strategies. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this one. Oh, and in the background we'll be drawing Yoshi from Super Mario. On a previous episode, I think it was 3 episodes ago now, I drew Mario, which would have been on the 5th of this month. And then today we'll be drawing Luigi. Tomorrow we'll be drawing, today we'll be drawing Yoshi, and tomorrow we'll be drawing Luigi. So let me just go ahead and share the stream, and then we'll get started up.
Yeah, looks like we're live.
Yeah. Yes, sir. So let me just delete that old post. Okay. Yeah, all right. So let's go.
Sweet.
Yeah, okay. So everything's on. So yeah, welcome Jacob to the Dream Journal. Thanks for coming on.
Of course. Of course.
So to get started, so today we're going to be talking about, like I said, Think and Grow Rich and different wealth building strategies. So have you read the book Think and Grow Rich before?
Me?
Yeah.
Yes, I have. I've read it a few different times. I think I've read it 3 or 4 times.
Okay. So yeah, what do you think about success principles in general? Like, what's your thoughts on success principles? Like, do you think success principles are a real thing? And notice how I said principles rather than rules. We'll get into that a little bit, but like, what do you think about success principles? Like, are there principles for success?
Yeah, I think so. I think that there's patterns, man. I think that patterns persist at every level of reality. We see, things like the flower of life. We see certain patterns that persist from the atom all the way up to the galaxies.
Mm-hmm.
And so, that's what math is, right? It's sort of the identification of patterns that converse with each other in a harmonious way. And so it makes sense that we as humans on a more macro level would identify patterns that seem to work over and over and over again.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why we can, read Marcus Aurelius, who was around before like Jesus Christ, and like read some of the stuff he says and be like, dude, I wish our society nowadays had a little bit more of that. Mm-hmm. Because these patterns, these principles, if you will, don't necessarily change.
Yeah. So yeah, I do think there are like definite patterns that occur in life, and a lot of the patterns that do occur, like I don't think they're one dimensional. And what I mean by that is like there might be a pattern in one industry, but like it oftentimes applies to another industry as well. It just depends on like whether your mindset or like whether you're aware enough to notice like how it applies. So like one of the patterns is like persistence. That's like one of the success principles. It's one of the biggest success principles in Think and Grow Rich. It's like subliminally in there throughout like the entire book. So like the main so like let me get into persistence first. So like with persistence, like that came to me from running. I got my persistence from running long distance throughout like my entire lifetime, and whenever like I would do like long distance runs, like I noticed that like you actually have a plateau section where like you think like you can't go anymore, but if you push through that, your body actually gives you more energy to like keep on going, and you get what's called runner's high. Runner's high often comes like right after your plateau level, and then like you get like enough energy to run like probably like double or triple like what your normal baseline level was. So it's a pretty interesting concept.
Yeah, and that pattern sort of persists when we see like breakouts with price action for like crypto or stocks. Whenever humans see that price can persist past a certain point strongly, they get positive about the success prospects of it. And so, I mean, you can find these patterns really anywhere if you look hard enough. I think for me, one thing that I identified this weekend was sort of the biggest success principle in my eyes is the Mastermind Principle. I don't think anything else even comes close, because I think the rest of the principles they very much rely on that principle to be fostered and cared for. So
I think the Mastermind Principle is actually a very highly underrated one, because a lot of people don't realize how much they really need other people to be successful. Whether that's like, for me, like the Apple company that makes the iPad, like how would I be able to do like these? Of course, I could draw with pen and paper, but like somewhere down the line, like you need other people to like be a success. So like it's highly underestimated like how much other people actually like help you on your path to success. And the Mastermind reminds us that like, hey, like we actually aren't isolated creatures. We do like need communication with others, and
it's not even just success either. Like you literally, like the adages go like, tell me who your friends are and I'll tell you who you are. Or the other one is like an average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Yeah, because what I was about to say is like through deliberately picking the people that like you surround yourself with, like you're much more likely to achieve your success.
Or even just being willing to walk away from people who don't serve you. I think that's the biggest one, is like it's easy to hang out with people who you see value with, but the problem that people have is that they spend all this time with people who aren't good for them, or like they don't have the strength to walk away from comfortable situations. That's not just a problem on a person to person level. That's a problem where it's literally causing people to be in marriages that they shouldn't be in, or causing people to be in relationships they shouldn't be in. And just because they're seeking comfort, they want that comfort, when in reality, they should be looking for meaning, or they should be looking for something, I don't know, deeper than that.
Yeah. Hey, we can't go there, Chap. That's too close to home.
No, dude, it's so important.
But I totally agree with what you're saying, because I've noticed that before. Like when I was a little kid, I would notice that people would sometimes especially girls in particular. Like they'll hang out with people who aren't really their friends, but like they're in the friend group. So like you have like the friends that are like your actual friends, and then like you have some fake friends in that group as well. And then like
Right.
I never understood that as a kid. It's like, why would you even hang out with people who aren't like legit like about you? It was like so weird to me. But yeah, it's due to comfort, like you said.
Yeah, man. It's due to comfort, and some people just don't have a choice. Like if you're in a small town, or it's like your environment, like we've said before, if you're in a small town or your environment's not good, like you're just gonna be at the mercy of that. So your environment is truly everything, and that's why this past weekend when I went to the lake with my cousins, that was such a powerful environment, such a powerful mastermind to be around, and it happens in jiu-jitsu too. So whoever you're around is who you're going to become 100%.
Yeah.
So for me, I think that's my biggest one. Let me pull up a list of the other Think and Grow Rich principles.
Yeah, I actually have the book here next to me. Let me see. So yeah, it was definiteness of purpose. Oh well, the one we covered was persistence. The mastermind. Definiteness of purpose is another one. So like knowing exactly what you want. That's like a real big one that like is underrated.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, I think the reason people are vague about what they want is because they fear. I've felt this for sure. Is like they just fear. They fear disappointment. They fear the idea that they could fail, or the idea that they're not good enough.
See, I don't even think it's just that. Like, I think a lot of people, like, literally do not know what they want out of life.
I
Like,
don't think, dude. I think they know. I think they're just scared. I think they
oh,
lie
well,
to
yeah.
themselves.
Okay, yeah, I could see that in some aspect. But I also know there's, like, people who, like, just live day to day and don't really plan towards the future. So, like,
Right.
yeah, I mean it in a literal sense where it's like, I literally there's some people out there who literally don't know where their life is going. Even if there is stuff that they do desire, like everybody wants to be a millionaire. Everybody wants to like drive a Lambo or like some kind of nice car. But like if you don't really have an idea on how to get there, like you're kind of just going about life aimlessly.
Right. Dude, I hate to sidetrack us here, but I'm having trouble finding how to share a link on Instagram stories.
On Instagram stories.
Yeah.
I don't know if you could links.
Anymore, like where you swipe up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can't do that. It's because like I hate that they did that, but they made it so that only paid. It's only like big pages that could do that, basically.
Oh, that sucks. Never mind. Um, but yeah, so we'll go through another. So one of them is desire. So I mean
desire.
that really is just another way of saying what we already said, which is that if you truly desire something, like you have to really bring it to the forefront of your mind every single day, because it's coming from somewhere. Like, I think people underestimate greatly their desires. They underestimate greatly what's inside of them, and they don't listen to themselves because, honestly, it's because they listen to, whether it be society or whether it be the people around them. They have this idea that they shouldn't listen to what's inside, what they want. They think they might think it's selfish. They might think they have selfish cravings, or that they are a bad person for pursuing like money. I mean, that's big nowadays, dude. Nowadays, rich people get absolutely like crucified. Even people like
Eat the rich. That's probably like the dumbest.
And that's not new, right? Like that's always been the case. But
that is true. Throughout history, yeah.
Yeah, it's like Bezos. Like most of his money is tied up in Amazon stocks. Like imagine if he sold off his Amazon stock to like do things with it. Like what would happen to Amazon? Who I don't know what that would do, but something tells me that wouldn't be a very good look for the company. It'd probably significantly affect his employees, affect the company, probably affect the entire economy. But people are just like, he could solve all the world's problems with his money. It's like,
it's all in stock. Yeah.
yeah, it just gives people this negative look on wealth and I think a big part of finding success is just convincing yourself you deserve it. And I think that's probably the main part. And I think
Yeah.
that everything else, like the mastermind helps with that. Having people telling you you deserve to be successful is a total 180 from people telling you that you don't, or that are not saying anything. Like people acting like, I don't really care. Success isn't really that important. It's like, I don't know. It's hard to be around. It's, I don't know. I
Well,
don't say
no,
it's hard to.
yeah, I think you're right on point with that because, like, I think that's where the auto suggestion chapter of Think and Grow Rich comes in, because like
Right.
that's how like these success principles are actually built on like 20 years of research by Napoleon Hill,
Mhm.
which is one thing like a lot of people don't realize about this book. Like, it's not just like any kind of textbook that was like thrown together based off of opinion. It's based off of like literally, it's basically like a 20-year study of what like the most successful people that built like the United States did in order to get to like where they are. And
Right.
you have people like Rockefeller, who is like the richest man, or like technically he's not the richest man of all time, but at least by U.S. standards he is. You
Right.
have Carnegie, who was like the guy who built U.S. Steel, the second richest man in history. You have Benjamin Franklin, who was like an inventor and like a president. You have several presidents in there actually. And if I just look through that first chapter, you have like a lot of big names in there. But yeah, the point is like, if this worked for those people, like what makes you think it won't work for the everyday person like you and I? Yeah, some of the other big names: Henry Ford, the maker of Ford Company; Thomas A. Edison, um, Howard Taft. Yeah, Rockefeller, like I said, Charles Schwab. Charles Schwab is actually like a big investment hedge fund right now.
Hmm.
Theodore Roosevelt. Um, but yeah, lots of names in there. So yeah, I think one of the biggest things is just like believing you're worthy of the things that you want.
Right.
Because like I had that problem when I was a child, just from growing up like so. See, I wouldn't even call myself poor, but it's like I just didn't have a lot of things when I grew up. Like I know I was better off than like a lot of the kids that I went to school with, but like I just never really like felt like I deserved things just because like we lived like a more humble life. So yeah, like I think now that I'm older and like I know I could go out and get the things I want, like I have to sometimes convince myself that like I even deserve it in the first place, which sounds weird, but it's just from like living so humble for like so many years. Like you get used to that old paradigm of like, hey, like do I really need an iPad, or can I just like draw on a piece of paper or something? And it's like, no, yeah, I don't need the iPad really, but will it help me get to like the next level where I want to get in life? Yes, definitely. So then this is part of the process of me growing to get to that next level.
Yeah. I mean, I I think everybody. So you said it sounds weird.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
said
it
it
sounds
sounds
weird.
weird,
Yeah, it sounds weird to say like I'm not worthy of something. Like yeah, like
but everybody feels that way. You're just honest. That's
yeah.
the funny thing. Everybody feels like that's weird. Everybody feels like that's embarrassing. Like people like, dude, I get embarrassed sometimes to like tell my nutrition coach that I didn't hit my macros. Like,
Mhm.
dude, that guy's coached hundreds of people.
Yeah.
He's had people probably not lose any weight through 7 or 8 weeks of programming, and I've been one of his best performers. And yet I still have this fear about, oh, well, I did this wrong. I didn't perform like I should have. Like, man, that's really, I feel like that's one of the main roots of just what keeps people bogged down is that guilt, that feeling that they're not a good person. And that's one thing that I
Yeah.
will tell people, bro, because people don't hear that. I will tell somebody, dude, you are a good person. Like I've told two people in the last like week that who were either not even they were having a hard time, but I know that they just sometimes feel like they're not good people for whatever reason. Maybe they can't be around their kid because their kid lives in another state, or they had to fire a bunch of people and they feel bad about that. Like I will tell them, dude, you're a good person. Like don't let this world and the things that you experience through the five senses convince you that what's inside of you is not what's there or what's real. What's inside of you is what's real.
Hmm.
And if you continue to foster that flame, that is what will, it's cliche, but that's what will that's why it's called manifesting. Because what's inside of you will come out. Like, so as you believe, so it shall be done unto you. And that's real, dude. There's a reason people still read that shit after 2,000 years.
Yeah.
And it ain't because it's not true.
Yeah. But yeah, into the next topic. So we talked about success principles from Think and Grow Rich. And the reason why I didn't say rules is because I don't think there are any rules for the success. I think there's principles on which fundamentally work, and principles are like deeper than rules. Principles are kind of like it's almost like a well-tested rule. It goes a little bit deeper than like a rule because like it's almost like having like a hypothesis. A rule would be like a hypothesis in science, while a principle would be more of a theory. So it's like once you've tested something over time with many different variables and and you've seen it like still work, then that's when it becomes a principle. So yeah, I think these success principles are legit, but branching away from them, what do you think about self-help books in general, like Think and Grow Rich and other self-help books? Do you think like those are legit, or do you
Oh,
enjoy
yeah.
them?
I mean, I think that people need help. I think that people need encouragement and people don't get it. Like, I don't know. Like, people just don't get enough encouragement, man. And that's why people kill themselves. Like people kill themselves
That's deep.
often, and it's one of the main killers of people. I think it's actually one of the biggest killers of kids nowadays. Like kids are committing
Suicide?
suicide.
You think so?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I read that recently. Like suicide statistics. Um, so suicide is the 10th leading cause of death in the U.S. The rate of suicide is highest in middle-aged white men. Um, look up for kids. Suicide is the second leading cause of death for the ages 10 through 24 years old. It's the second leading cause of death for college-age youth and ages 12 through 18. So
That's
whenever
crazy.
someone talks shit about anything that's positive, they're usually, I wouldn't even say that they're like a bad person. I would say they're probably someone who's struggling. I think they're probably somebody, like people talk to mirrors. And if someone's like, oh, like, that's bullshit, you don't need that, like a lot of those people have put up a front, man. And the quickest way, one thing that I realized is the quickest way to tell somebody like who they really are is you can just look at their body. You can look at the way they carry themselves. You can look at what they look like, and there you tell a lot more about someone's body than what the words that come out of their mouth, because words are fickle, but like someone's body never lies. That's older. Our ability to speak is a lot younger than our bodies are. So yeah, dude, I don't think they're bullshit at all, and I think that everybody could use a little dose of, even just a psychology book, a wellness book,
Hmm.
whether it's a book on business. You don't have to become rich if you don't want to. I don't know why you wouldn't want to be, but if you don't want to be, that's fine. Like, I think there's a lot of fiction can be self-help, you know what I'm saying? If it's something that gets you through your day and entertains you, you know,
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah. So, yeah, actually, well, I could go two ways with this, but what is your favorite self-help book?
Uh, that's kind of that's a good question. I have to look at my bookcase. Um, I'll look at my bookcase real quick, and you can talk about
Yeah.
yours.
Okay. So mine is obviously probably Think and Grow Rich. The second one, besides that, so my second one is like pretty difficult. I would put. Let me give you a Mount Rushmore actually of 4 books because that's a lot easier than just doing one. So my Mount Rushmore would be Think and Grow Rich, number 1. I would have Power versus Force in there, which is by what's that guy's name? Here, I actually have the books here. Give me one sec. So yeah, I would have Power versus Force, this one in there. It's by who's this by? David R. Hawkins. David R. Hawkins. Power versus
Right.
Force. That's a real good one. Cybernetics is the other one. One is about like visualization and like this one's a lot about like your mind, or it's a lot about feeling into the person you want to become. So like that's like a pretty deep thing when you think about it. By Maxwell Maltz. This is actually a technique that a lot of athletes use. Like they'll visualize being successful in the game, and then like it helps them actually keep calm in high pressure moments, just because they've replayed it in their mind so many times. And then my last one, so I have Think and Grow Rich, Power versus Force, Cybernetics. The last one, maybe, yeah, I don't know if I want to throw a lot of a traction book in there, or yeah, if I throw a law of attraction book in there, I would say Feeling is the Secret for that last one by Neville Goddard.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of books, man.
Yeah.
Hell of a Mount Rushmore. Yeah, if I had to whittle it down to 2, it would be probably 12 Rules, and
12
not
Rules.
even necessarily the book, probably the album by Akira the Dawn more so.
Nice.
And then The Alchemist would probably be the other one.
Yeah. The Alchemist is a really good book too. I was actually thinking about adding that one, but for a Mount Rushmore, I had to go a little bit deeper than The Alchemist.
Okay, bro. I'm here to cover your bases, dog.
Yeah.
I really like the idea that mythology and a story can encompass so many people's lives. I mean, why do so many people read that story and get so much from it? Like, why is that? It's the story about a kid who like has sheep in the Middle East, and he goes to find a guy who can turn. Well, really, he just goes on a journey because, like, essentially the omens, a spirit, if you will, Melchizedek, told him to do it. Essentially, like he was guided towards something, and he took a leap of faith. He said, "You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna leave everything behind, and I'm gonna go do this." Like, and that resonates with people.
Yeah,
We
because
all know it. Why?
Yeah, because I think that's like our inner voice. I think intuition guides us to do things that we know is aligned with who we truly are. Like me with this art channel, like I never would have done this unless I trusted my intuition. So I think everybody has those hunches. It's just that like fear blocks you from actually chasing after them.
Yeah, 100%, dude. Fear and I think fear disguises itself as reason sometimes. Like you tell yourself it's going to be reasonable.
That is hilarious. I love that you said that.
Yeah,
Fear disguises
write that
itself
one
as
down.
reason
Dude,
sometimes.
someone's probably already said that. If it hasn't, dude, I need to fucking.
Yeah, that's a what do you call it? That's a copyright or a copyright quote right there.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's something that people have said in the past. Fear disguises itself as reason, as a voice of reason. Probably more so in religious context, people will say that.
Yeah.
But man, I mean, it's like yesterday. I was sitting at, I went to go eat at a nice restaurant that I enjoy and at the Pearl in San Antonio just because I like it. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it because I just been feeling this appreciation more for life, and I said, let me go enjoy this experience. So I went, had a pretty waitress, and I kind of flirted with her a little bit. I let her know that I thought she was pretty, and she laughed about it. And, it was harmless fun. Um, and then
Until the bill came.
afterwards, huh?
Until the bill came.
Yeah.
No, okay.
And then afterwards, and of course I was sweating, like it was so hard for me to do that. And then, afterwards I walk over to another girl who's sitting there journaling, I'm talking to her. And like, dude, like I really had to, kind of had to hype myself up in order to do that. But when I did it, even though didn't necessarily get like the results that, we all dream of, whatever the case may be, like it wasn't about that. It was just about getting outside of your comfort zone and doing something that it takes balls to do. Like, dude, it takes balls to do that. So for me, that was kind of the biggest thing. Dude, I'm looking at Yoshi. He looks good.
Thank you. Yeah, it's coming in pretty good.
Look at you multitasking over here. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually, if I wanted to do cartooning, I'm actually pretty good at cartooning, but my passion is for more realistic drawing, so I take the more difficult path towards my artistry in order to realize my fullest potential.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, you got to challenge yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, so with some of the past episodes, I might actually redraw them just because, like, I have OCD and I don't like putting out bad content. So,
Nice.
Yeah, I might have to redraw some of those actually.
I mean, good. More iterations, the better.
Yeah.
Um,
So yeah, let's go into the next topic. How much time do you have for this, by the way?
I've got about like 5 to 7 minutes before I've got to jump on a work call.
Okay, so yeah, let's do one more question and then we'll cut it there. So like,
Okay.
this will be like a quick 5 minute one.
Sure.
So what's your strategy for building wealth? Like, do you have any wealth building strategies that like you've learned over the years?
Yeah, so part of it is trading.
Trading.
So just utilizing capital as a lever, realizing that capital is one of the strongest and most accessible levers that we have. So the trading that I do is a big part of that, and then because I do sales, because my sales is percentage based, I can reach certain bonuses and get large stacks of cash very quickly. Just continuing to do well at my job is kind of another wealth building thing. And I'm really lucky that at my stage in life I'm making enough money to where, like, I don't think very many people my age make this kind of money.
Yeah.
And I'm able to take it and build it. So a lot of people just don't, my age just don't. What they end up doing is they end up getting like a partner, a spouse, and that's when they kind of start getting out of debt or whatever the case may be. So I'm focused more on building wealth right now than getting out of debt, and so that's contrary to what a lot of people think you should do, but it's something I've started doing because you can beat the credit cards at their own game sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No. Like, I think the one thing that a lot of people don't realize is that, like, simply investing your money, you could make like a lot more money than you would expect you could.
Yeah.
And like that really changed my paradigm on building wealth, because it's like you don't have to work 40 hours or like 80 hours to make 80 grand a year. Like, you could make 80 grand a year working at your 30 grand a year job and investing like 50% of that in like some high return assets, and it turns it into 80 grand, which is like,
Yeah, that's not taught.
yeah. See, it sounds, those numbers sound crazy, but until you've done it yourself, because like I've had 2 years in a row where I've gotten basically, let's see, yeah. So off of Tesla, I got like a 7x return, and then like off of Ethereum, I got a 10x return just recently. So it's like I have 2 years in a row where I've gotten like returns that are like pretty much ridiculous.